Hello, dear Gemini. How are you? Welcome. I hope you are doing very, very well. Gemini, let's see how your energies will be at this moment. So you can use them to your advantage and see a situation from a new point of view. This reading, as you know, is general. Take what resonates with you. If not, disregard the message. And it applies to all those who have their sun, rising, moon, or Venus in the sign of Gemini. Gemini, if you need a personal consultation with me, you can write to the email shown on the screen, and I will send you all the information you need. All right, let's channel a message for the sign of Gemini. Gemini, let's do it. This starts with the Page of Cups, the Page of Pentacles, the Two of Cups, the Eight of Swords, Gemini, the Judgment, the Ten of Pentacles, the Five of Swords, the Knight of Pentacles, and for the channel, we have the Seven of Swords. Your underlying deck energy is the Nine of Pentacles. All right, Gemini, let's start analyzing your reading with the energy from the bottom of your deck, okay? Because we're specifically talking about an energy that speaks to your independence, right? Also about the invitation to enjoy your own achievements. Surely, you're also reflecting your self-esteem or even rewards, right? For efforts you've made in your past. So it's like the message is talking a bit about this energy. The thing is, well, Gemini, you don't have to chase after everything. Why? Because right now you already have more resources than you think. I mean, that's actually an energy of consolidation. But since we have it as the underlying card, I feel like maybe what it's telling you is that true growth, Gemini, will come when you let go. Whether it's seeking external validation for what you're doing and you yourself start to recognize your own worth. Okay? And that's why the connection with your self-esteem and your own self-worth is so important right now. If we're going to start analyzing the reading from the beginning, right? It really starts in a very positive way because you have opportunities here, there are connections here, and there's also openness. Okay. The energy you're awakening, there's an emotional energy at this moment, right? And this could be telling us about a moment, Gemini, that could bring great inspiration or great criticism. It could be creativity. It could also be a moment of great sensitivity, of openness to new feelings, as well as messages or conversations with a strong emotional tone, right? So it's like an energy Gemini that's inviting you right now to listen more to your heart than to your mind. Here, the energy follows an opportunity which is now tangible. And this could be symbolizing maybe a course of study, a new job, a new business, a new project, a learning experience, a new lesson. Take this as a seed. It's like there's something that might be small, but it can really grow much more than you think. How does this line end? With an energy of coming together. And that energy is very connected, of course, to alliances, to the agreements you have with others, to a balanced relationship, or to a connection that is really broad and authentic. This doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, because it could also be talking about a partnership, about collaboration, okay? Or even a person who shows up at this moment to give you a hand, to help you. So I feel that the message this first row is giving you is that there are new connections right now that have the potential to become something very significant in your life. So it's an energy that really favors everything related to new relationships, new stages, new bonds, partnerships, finding that partner or potential collaborator, reaching an agreement with someone else. Or it can also be an energy of reconciliation. Okay? Now, if we move to the center, right, of your reading, This is where the real lesson is right now, Gemini. Why? Because there's an energy showing up. Let's see, Gemini. Are you feeling trapped in something? In a situation? Especially when it comes to your thoughts, your mind, right? Maybe you're overanalyzing situations. If there are situations that make me feel insecure, or maybe there are also limiting beliefs, it's a super mental energy, okay? Now, next comes an energy that has to do with awakening. It's like an invitation to Gemini. Let's wake up right at this moment. No, it's like hearing the call of the soul. There's like an invitation to be able to understand something in a very deep way. It's also inviting you to be reborn. So it may be that the feeling is that you can no longer pretend you don't know something. You shouldn't be indifferent to the truth. It's like there's a truth that's emerging. But then here comes, of course, the reward, which is stability, or it could be consolidation. Okay? It's an energy that speaks to us, of course, about prosperity, security, and legacy, or also about building something that will last over time. So notice that the sequence of this energy is kind of like there is a mental limitation, yes. There is an awakening, but there is also stability. Okay? So it's like the biggest obstacle isn't outside, it's inside, and it's in the mind. It's in what we tell ourselves. It's in the narrative we create for ourselves. That's where our own limits are. If we go to your last row, here we find, I feel, the greatest challenge of your reading. Because here you have an energy that speaks to us about conflicts, right? But above all, sometimes conflicts that are unnecessary. Maybe this has to do with competition, with arguments that sometimes don't make sense, right? Or the need to win. Or sometimes this also happens when the ego takes over. Maybe what this energy is asking you a bit. Gemini. Right now is it worth winning this battle or this confrontation you're having? You need to expand on an energy, right? One that invites patience. To be a bit more patient, yes. To use other methods, maybe. To be a bit more cautious, right? It's like, let's slow down the pace. And you show up right between two conflicting energies. Why? Because here you have the Seven of Swords, and of course this could be talking to us about, for example, hidden strategies, incomplete information. Be careful with self-deception. Or it could be dealing with people who aren't showing everything they're doing or all their cards. It's like, let's see, you're in an energy that suggests that there's something that, I don't know, maybe isn't being faced directly. So maybe what this energy is telling you is, Gemini, don't take shortcuts. You see, I mean, the energy is telling you to act with transparency. Whether you try, for example, to handle a situation or avoid a necessary conversation, the process here gets complicated. I mean, like, I have to talk about this with this person. Don't evade it. Don't avoid it. Confront it. There's a delicate situation there at work or in a professional setting. Don't try to manipulate that situation, right? That's why this energy talks a lot about transparency. Okay. What I feel, let's see, in general, if we look at these columns, the thing is, the emotions want to come in. They want to come in and they want to move forward. But the mind here is creating blockages. And sometimes the blockages end up turning into conflicts. Okay. If we go to your central column, there's also a very important sequence. No? Why? Because it's a sequence that tells us about growth, especially when it comes to the material side, the work side. I feel like you're in a moment of great awakening there. It could be the awakening of a career, a calling, a profession, even a change of profession, right? It's like I'm learning something new. I had the awakening, and here I build. Okay, it's like a path. If we go to your last column, I feel like there's a great moment of potential here in your connections, in your relationships, and also in partnerships. But it warns you about something here. That trust, whether it's with that partner, that associate, or with your significant other, or with that person you're starting to connect with, that trust must be built with honesty. Mm. Because I feel that you have really good opportunities here to build something truly solid and lasting over time, whether it's that professional partnership or that romantic partnership. But only if everything is clear, if all the cards are on the table. Then what I think is that um, I feel in general, Gemini, that you are entering a period, right, of great opportunities, of growth, of stability, of connection. They're also real. But I feel that success depends on leaving behind these old mental patterns, right? The limitations. Most importantly, act with honesty, right? And also not to sabotage yourself with too much overanalyzing. So, good energy for partnerships, for relationships. Prosperity and stability are in your future because resources there can help build something lasting. There is a personal awakening that you are going through, right? Like a great realization. Everything you build. Be patient with all of this. But I feel that the big challenge or the task, right? The takeaway here is really about mental freedom. So there is great energy in this reading of maturation. Okay. And remember, the real challenge is in your mind, not outside. From doubts, sometimes from those strategies that you use when you get defensive, or sometimes that need to always have control over certain situations. What I feel is that there's a strong invitation here for you to listen to yourself, to listen to your inner truth. It's like it's trying to open up in all these situations. Trust also in what you have already built. I mean, your growth doesn't depend on getting more things, but rather, growth relies on knowing your worth of what you already are. And from there, start acting from that confidence, from that personal confidence. Mm. All right, let's see. What will your advice be or message from the oracle? Okay, handkerchief. Wow, you have the lion here, and the lion is the higher calling. It tells you you have all the courage you need inside you. Leave the past behind and regain your majesty. You will find success and fulfillment with those who are by your side. Make noble decisions for your life and your tribe. Dear Gemini, this is what we have seen. Everyone, have a beautiful day. And we'll see you here next time.